Welcome to the Quiche. Come on in, network with each other, get to know each other, fellowship with each other, um, love on each other, be nice to each other. It is good seeing you guys. It is good seeing you guys. And I know you guys may be wondering, why does she have that around her face? Well, for one of the things that I wanted to definitely not do is mislead anyone in helping them in this particular journey. So I figured I don't want to give anyone the illusion, and this is just me and what I choose to do on my channel. I don't ever want to give anyone the illusion that this all goes from, oh, okay, my E Day is tomorrow, to look at this beautiful smile and everything is happy and happy go lucky. And of course, if we have any veterans on here from the denture community, the denture family, you guys definitely know it's not that way. But coming fresh out of E Day and before E Day, um, I'm definitely, it's still fresh on my brain, the uncertainties and the unknowns and this, that, and the other. And I just want to take this opportunity to use this video for E-Day purposes and self-care purposes, and hold off on the reveal to the smile. I just didn't have one like those hospital gowns. So this is like one of my 4th of July pieces that I had, in the closet. So I was like, hey, I'll use this. So no offense to anybody. And I just hope that you guys can really see past this nonsense that I'm doing. Maybe somebody can get a laugh out of it, but nevertheless, I made it through my E-Day. And I just wanted to, like I said, use this video as an opportunity to discuss that day and the care that comes along with this afterwards. Um, if you're new, um, if you could like, if you subscribe, if you could share, and if you have been following me, thank you so much for the support. I just want to put a disclaimer that this is just my journey. When I start talking about it, one of the things that I have learned, that you can look at hundreds and hundreds of videos and you can listen to people over and over and over, but your journey is your journey, and what may happen to one person may not happen to the other person. What one person may use, another person may not find it useful. Well, how one person feel about something, the other person may feel totally different. So this is just my journey, but you guys can leave anything that you agree with, down in the comments. You disagree with. If there was anything different about my journey, and if there's someone watching that is about to go to E-Day, and your story kind of different from mine and you want to kind of share yours, I'm more than welcome to that, because the whole point of this is to help one another. So my E-Day was scheduled for a Wednesday. So that Tuesday, I just made sure that I was in a peaceful, happy place, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. I tried my best, because life is life, but I tried my best to not let anything steal my joy. I tried to keep myself in happy places and happy surroundings, around happy people. Um, and guys, I'm learning how to talk with these, so bear with me. Um, but that Tuesday, I just relaxed. I did. It was emotional, and it still is emotional. And I'll get into that maybe in another video. But prior to E-Day, the day before D-Day, actually, it was very emotional. All kinds of thoughts was going through my head. But like I said, I pulled out my favorite music, my favorite games with my children. If you have a support system and you're getting ready for your E-Day, love on them. And I try to say that in every video that I do. Love on them, love on them, love on them. Whether it's your husband, whether it's your children, whether it's a coworker, a sister, brother, auntie, cousins, a best friend, neighbor, if you have anybody that's a support system that is there for you during this journey in your life, really um, never take advantage of that, because my family that day, Tuesday before the actual E-Day, they did everything in their might. If I wanted to talk, they would talk and they would listen to me. And if I just was in one of my lows and I just wanted to be alone and just kind of meditate, they would be like, okay, just let us know if you need anything. And they gave me my space and that really helped. So nevertheless, Tuesday is what I spent my time doing. And then Wednesday morning came, I got up at about 7 o'clock and freshened up, took some last minute before pictures. Yeah, and that's about it. So we left, and the dentist office is like nowhere from my house. So we got there pretty quick, and I felt good about everything. I walked in, the vibe was still the same. This dentist office is absolutely incredible, and I'm not getting paid by mentioning this name, but I'm going to mention it. DDS Dental and Solutions in Arlington, Texas. They're absolutely fabulous. The staff is fabulous. The dentist was fabulous, Dr. Doshi. So I know a lot of people, they go off to Colombia, Mexico. I saw videos where people go all around the world and get these dentures, but I have confidence in saying if you can just make it to Texas, if you can just get to Texas, you won't be dissatisfied. Now, not to discourage anybody from going anywhere. If that's where your heart leads you, follow your heart, of course. But my heart followed me here, and I'm glad it did. But we got there. God, this is funny. Oh, y'all got a sneak peek. Somebody got a sneak peek. But anyhow, let me pull this up. This is funny. Anyhow, we got there, and when I when I I'm sorry, the sneak peek threw me off. Well, anyways, when we got there, my dental technician, she laid me in the chair and I watched this little 10-minute video, and it was just over about the after effects of the surgery. The after effects of the surgery, and yes, we have the 3-year-old. Can you give me a second, please? Okay. Okay, thank you. Um, and what goes along with the surgery and the complications and things that you will encounter. It was like about a 5-minute video, maybe not even that. It wasn't that bad at all. And I had to sign a little waiver saying that I did watch it. And after that, she brought the paperwork. Hold on. But y'all like, just let us see, Keish. Just let us see. She brought the paperwork, and basically it was the breakdown of the prices, the extractions, the amount of the dentures, the sedation, just to kind of go over that, to go over, the medication that I was given, the rules on that, who's reliable for what, blah, blah, blah. Signed all that good stuff. And then after that came the actual picking of the color. So I actually was kind of worried about that too, because not that I was worried, I just imagined it being, like 500 different shades of white, from um, like chiclet white to like um, a canary yellow. That's just what my thinking was before. And nevertheless, it was 3 rows of teeth. And the first was the whitest of whites, and then the second one, and then the third one. So I don't know if that's everybody else's experience. I don't know if that's what's gonna happen when you go to the dentist. That was just my journey. So it was really easy. And one of the things that I was worried about is, should I get the whitest of whites when I chose this, or, you know, I don't, if, I had this theory where, celebrities only deserve this sparkling white smile, not really mediocre people, but average people that have lived a life and can't make it to the dentist constantly. And not even somebody, whose teeth is horrible, just your average person who have nice teeth. Their teeth, are of a certain color and demeanor. And I felt like that, should I be going that route? But when you actually look at the teeth, that's not an option. Like, if you having that thought, get that thought out of the door. Like, when you're looking at your sample, yeah, the color, they may have some color of the average person teeth, but the whole point of this is to have, you know, good quality teeth. And of course, this is a acrylic. This is a foreign object. So, of course, there are, if you got the right amount of money, I'm sure you can get some light teeth. But I don't have any money, but I'm happy with what I got. So, nevertheless, I did that, and after that, the video, and then we went over the breakdown of the price. I picked the color, and then she was like, "Okay, well, we're going to give you your prescription of the two pills, and bring those back. Do not take them." She was like, "Come back an hour prior to your appointment." My second appointment, or part two of the appointment, was at 2:30. But she was like, "Come back at 1:30, and you would start take your sedative, your first sedative once you get here." So luckily, because before I left, I was like, "Guys, I forgot to eat. I totally forgot to eat during that appointment." And thank God the dental technician was like, they were joking around, and they was like, "Yeah, you can go eat. Just make sure you bring me some." So I was like, "Thank God that I'm going to get to eat, and I am not going to have to go through this." Because, of course, I had all these thoughts in my head prior, but I knew eating was going to be one of the drawbacks. And I was like, "Oh my God, I cannot believe that I set myself up," because I was so nervous and had so much going on in my mind. I was like, "Oh my God, I've set myself up for the pill," and I didn't eat. So luckily, I was able to eat. So um, when we left, me and my husband just kind of went to eat, and he made me laugh, and we just, he let me, just kind of talk about my feelings and my emotions toward the situation, and just kind of got a lot of stuff off my chest. The emotions that was going on in my mind and my heart, I just got out over lunch. And then after lunch, we headed back to the house to check on the kids, because we didn't take the kids with us, just to make sure they were okay before the actual procedure was scheduled. And they were fine, and they thought that I had the teeth when I came back from the 8:30 appointment, but I didn't. I was like, "No, guys, not yet." So they were fine, and then we headed back over there. We got there at 1:30. In my area on Wednesday, there was actually a tornado warning while I was there. And my husband was making jokes. He was like, "Oh my God, what if they're doing the procedure on your mouth and the electricity go out?" I was like, "That is not funny at all." But um, yeah, so we got there, and I took the pill, and the pill worked immediately. I normally don't take prescription pills, and some people be like, "Oh, that wasn't anything," or that was, but that medicine started working immediately on me. It's definitely, for you guys that's checking in, it's definitely a calmer. And if you're the type of person that have anxiety, or not anxiety, if you just don't want to be all the way there during the procedure, the 2 pills is definitely the way to go. And I took the 1 pill at 1:30, and then they are very punctual. There's not a time that I went in the dentist office and I had to wait no longer than my appointment stated that I had to wait. So um, um, the dental technician came at about 2:25, 2:28, and he was like, "Okay, Lakeisha, he called me back or whatever." So I went back, and then he crushed the second fill. Let me see, can I do this? Oh yeah, I can do that. And I asked, I was like, "So why are you crushing the second fill?" And he was like, "Because it goes into the bloodstream faster." And I'm the type to always ask questions about everything. And I was like, okay. So I was already pretty relaxed. So that second pill was really, really relaxed. So if there's anybody thinking about taking those 2 pills, they work very well. Um, let's see. So yeah, and they also there was like a numbing gel. They had like little six or eight little swabs with numbing gel. They put that all in my mouth, and it numbed it, but it didn't numb it nowhere near the shot. So once they put that in my mouth, I I waited about 30 minutes with that in my mouth, and then they came with the needles, and normally I would have been horrified, but those 2 pills, like, I can't really just recall everything, but they did hurt. But different people have different levels of pain tolerance. Some people may be like, "Oh, they wasn't that bad," and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no wrong or right or wrong answers when you're dealing with people's pain tolerance. Everybody is different, but for me, they hurt. So in all honesty, they hurt it. So they gave me about 15 shots in my mouth, 12 to 15 shots in my mouth. And then after that, Dr. Doshi was like, just lay back and take a nap. Because mind you, I still have the sedative, so I'm okay. So that was about 20 minutes. And no, it was about 30 minutes. So most of the time during this visit, guys, most of it was sedation and numbing of the mouth. The whole time I was there. Because after they got finished giving me those shots, he left me in there about 20 more minutes. But when he came in there to take my teeth out, I had 16 or 17 teeth took out. I don't have the paper right in front of me, but guys, it took them 2 or 3 minutes. I know I was sedated, but I was still alert enough he was like, "Okay, just one more." And I was like, "Huh?" He was like, "Yeah, just one more." I was like, wow. So if any of you guys just kind of scared, it's not as bad as we think. I was like, wow. That part is definitely not bad, but everybody is different. If anybody else disagree with that, you can put it, down in the comments. But for me, the length of time it took for them to take them teeth out of my mouth, I was surprised. So after they took the teeth out of my mouth, I had to bite out. I had to bite on the gauze because there was bleeding. So I bit on gauze for like another 15 or 20 more minutes, still sedated, calm, relaxed. And then after that, they came and checked, and the bleeding was still going. And he changed the gauze out. He was like, "You're still kind of bleeding. I'm put some new gauze, fresh gauze. I want you to bite back down." So 10 more minutes of just biting on gauze. And after that, they were like, "Okay, your teeth will be here soon." So 5 minutes later, the teeth came in, and I was like, I was trying to see my teeth, and he was like, "Oh, and up," and they just put them in. I thought it was kind of weird, and I think what it is because that's their profession, and they get people over and over and over again, and then they were men. No shade to my man, no offense to man, but that sentimental part that you see on commercials where they put the dentures in and let you see your teeth with the mirror, and you start bawling, and everybody start bawling, and everybody say it's beautiful. It was nothing commercialized about my journey. It was two guys. They were like, okay, your teeth are in. And they gave me the instructions over, what had to be done, the next couple of days. So, which worked out fine because I'll get into that later why that worked out fine. But nevertheless, guys, the most horrible part about this was the pinching of the needle in the mouth. I didn't even see the needle because the sedative normally, because I started this process in 2017, and there were times where I didn't have sedation and I was, unsedated, and I would see that needle and I would catch tachycardia immediately. But this time, those pills, they had me so drowsy. I never saw a needle. I never saw a tooth come out of my mouth. I didn't hear any crunches coming out of my mouth or anything. It's amazing. Get the two pills. Get them. Or I think they have another laughing gas. I can't speak on laughing gas because I didn't choose the laughing gas option. But those two pills were amazing. So, anyways, they didn't let me look in the mirror. It wasn't commercialized like I thought. But which worked out because when I got in the car, I got to share that experience with my family because when I first saw them, they first saw them. So that was a memorable moment, a moment that I'll never forget. I wouldn't trade seeing my new teeth with my family over seeing my teeth with, and no shade to Dr. Doshi or the tech, but seeing my new teeth with two guys, just like, okay, we're finished with you. We're headed to the next person. You know what I'm saying? So it worked out that I got to see my teeth first with my family. Pain, I wasn't in any when we left. Um, but pain did come toward the end of the day. But they did prescribe me um, an antibiotic and two pain relievers. Um, I'm going to talk a little bit just about some of for the people that's getting ready for E-Day. There's some post-oral surgery instructions, just so you guys can have something to kind of have to know what's coming. Like, for instance, the first one says the first day. Um, remove the gauze when saturated or when you want something to eat or drink. Sit upright or lie on pillows. Avoid talking or spitting. I talked the whole time. Guys, I'm just a talker by nature. And I think I'm going to tell you guys why I shouldn't have talked, I think. But I did talk because I'm just naturally a talker. It says no talking or spitting, no straws, no carbonated beverages, or no rinsing. It has a bleeding section on here, but I think that that's a case by case basis. I bled when I was there, of course, when they initially took the teeth out, but in my journey, haven't experienced any bleeding since the surgery. But I have watched some people in the digital community and the digital family to where they had a lot of bleeding, but I didn't. So some of this stuff is a case by case basis. Swelling, you may have swelling, you may not. I had a little bit of swelling, not much. It talks about pain. Um, and of course, I told you guys they issue you medicine. Diet. When I tell you I'm hungry, I am hungry. I'm happy, but I'm hungry. So, yeah, your diet, get ready. Get yourself some soups, get yourself some applesauces, get yourself some yogurts, have somebody that can make you some smoothies, Have you some water, no carbonated drink, carbonated. Um, what other foods did I have? Mashed potatoes. I heard the saying, anything you smash, you can eat. For me, for the most part, that is true. Some stuff, like the mashed potatoes, it just depended on your mouth. Like, I'm going to have to go back. And for all my veterans on here, I'm having problems swallowing. So if you could tell me what do you think that is when I'm eating. So if you could tell me, and that's stuff that's like mashed potato stuff with a more thicker consistency. Because if you could tell me what you think that is, and then I can take that up with them and tell them what I think is going on. I'm unsure, but broth, applesauce, soups, like cream soups. Cream soups, I have problems swallowing that. So if it's a thin consistency and it can just roll down my tongue, but when it start getting, and it could be just my technique, and I need to learn how to eat. I don't know, but that's it got me kind of wondering that I need to say something, because if you think about it, as the weeks go on, if I don't say nothing now, then it could be a possible issue along the lines. Oral hygiene um, for the dentures, and I guess we all can use our own kind of products. I got these from the Dollar General before the surgery, and nothing major. I talked with a few ladies from the dental community, and this is fine. And the dentist office did give me Polygrip, which is a name brand kind, so I use that for the dentures. And shout out to Sweet Lady V. These were a lifesaver. C-bond. Because as your mouth shrink, the dentures just seem like, they're just gonna fall out. But this was a godsend. Thank you, Sweet Lady V, for this, because I was able to go to work and get back to the money with these. And they do also come, those were the lowers, they do come in uppers. So if anybody getting ready for E-Day, I suggest these. I really do. They were suggested to me, and I suggest it to anybody that's getting ready, because these are great. I have these in my mouth now, and I talk just fine. More oral hygiene. I got a lot of these kids toothbrush, the soft. I cut the top off, the soft. And let's see what else. So if you can go out, people that's getting ready for your E-Day, if you want to go out and get some products, if you want to drop down in the comments and ask other people on my page that's been in the dental community a long time with some best products. But again, just depending on your financial situation and what works for you. You may not like the C-bun, but they were recommended to me, and they have worked great. And if anybody else have any other suggestions, please do not feel afraid to drop them in the comments. If I've said something that you guys can relate to or you agree with, drop it in the comments. Or if I said something that might have been a little bit different from what you experienced, you can also drop that in the comments, because I like just, kind of exploring everybody's journey. Stiff jaw. Now, this right here, the first night I had the teeth in my mouth, but the second night, and you guys, I worked in a hospital for 6 years. I worked with geriatric patients, which is your elders, and I've always heard, like when I dealt with amputees, I've always heard them say that even though they get their legs cut off or their arms, it still feel like it's there. So that second night, you're supposed to take the dentures out, and I took them out. My jaw, it just wouldn't. It just felt like it wouldn't close. It just felt like my mouth was stuck open, and that came to my mind. This is just me personally. That although I'm thinking in my head, because I have no teeth, my mouth is supposed to automatically shut. That's not the way the anatomy of the body works. My mouth had to realize, or my anatomy of my face and my jaw had to realize that there wasn't anything anymore. And over each night, I noticed that the jawline became looser, so to say, or less stiffer, and it started to relax. So this is the third or the fourth night. I'm not sure. I got my procedure done on the 29th. Now when I take them out, my jaw just relaxes. Because I was having pain the first night when I took them out, because it was like it was stuck open. Not any horrible pain where you feel like you got to go to ER or anything. It was just a discomfort. So it also tells you, to gently stretch your jaw several times daily. Rest, 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 rest. It's very imperative, not only for the body, but for the mind, because this is a lot to take in. It's been my third or fourth day. It's still a lot to take in for me. And I think that rest helps with all of that. It helps you to clear your mind, clear your thoughts, rest your body, and just it's a natural rest is a natural medication, and it's needed no matter what procedure that you're having on your body. It's just imperative. Fever, I didn't have any fever, but that doesn't mean that somebody else didn't or somebody else won't. Nausea, I was feeling nauseated when I left the place. It says the medication used during and after the surgery may cause nausea in a few people, and also just the emotions and everything, and also prescribed medication also make me nauseous. And I'm the type of person, like some of these medications say take medicine with food, but to me, chicken broth and soups, that's barely really have any consistency. So how is that, you know, doing its job that it's supposed to do when you're taking strong medication? So I believe truly that all my nausea came from all this medication, but it's better now. I'm no longer having to. This is the third or fourth day. I'm no longer having to take pain meds. And the pain meds were just a preventive measure. There wasn't a time that I was in so much excruciating pain that the pain medication was just it had to be taken. I was just miserable. No, it was just a to maintain and not to be in any pain while I go through that first 2 or 3 days. So smoking, I'm not a smoker. For anybody that smokes, it says you can't smoke for 7 days. If you're getting ready for your E-Day, you smoke. Um, and smoking, I know a lot of smokers, and it could be hard as far as smokers to stop. I just saw some people that couldn't stop smoking for 30 minutes, let alone 7 days. So dry socket, it said it's a painful condition arising 3 to 7 days after removal of a teeth. I'm not at my 7 day mark yet, so I'll be keeping an eye on that. I hope that's not something, because it says here it's painful, and I want to try to avoid anything painful as possible. It says here ice bags. So if you're getting ready for E-Day, and just in case you have any swelling, here it says ice bags are allowed for in 15-minute increments. And here's some important information about the dentures. Leave your dentures in the mouth for the first 24 hours. The next morning, take dentures out and rinse with warm salt water, then replace the denture. Wear your dentures for the first night. Starting the following day, wear your dentures during the day. Will leave out of the mouth at least 8 hours. Now, I saw some people on here that say they had to leave their dentures in 3 nights. Like I said, I don't know if it depends on the dentist or the company or whatever, but this is just my journey. And I slept with them the first night, and I haven't slept with them any other night, and I haven't had any problem. It says no strenuous activity for 24 hours after extraction, and do not take aspirin 48 hours after extraction. So, again, for you guys that's getting ready, just some kind of stuff to look forward to, because I definitely want to continue to target. When I was thinking about this video, I know this is kind of going to be like information that the people that have been in the denture community for some time, everything like, oh, I know that. But then I also had to remember, that I also want to help the people that are coming behind me to be aware of or try to help. So that's the whole point of covering up this mouth, because I wanted really to relay the message of the importance of the psychological and the physical and the emotional and the care that has to take place after this. The smile, yes, it is a reward. And I think no matter if I show you my teeth, that's not going to equivalent the happiness you're going to see with your own smile. So, but for those that are happy for me and can't wait to see, I can't wait to show you. But I just kind of wanted to be realistic of those who are coming behind me. And this aftercare of the E-Day is very, very serious. Only one other thing I wanted to talk about, and this was a very emotional part for me and my family, was the first time that I took them out of my mouth. Uh, my family was a support system. They were there. And when I took them out, everybody started crying. Well, I started crying first. And I hadn't even saw myself in the mirror when I took them out. When I say this, I mean this from the depths of my soul. You can watch every video. You can listen to whoever you want to. You can read whatever you want. But you have to be ready here. You have to be ready here. You have to get ready. This is something you have to get ready for. You have to get ready of knowing that you're not going to have any teeth anymore. You have to get ready for learning the maintenance and care that you're going to have to take care of yourself, because it requires you to pay attention to yourself and make sure that you're around the clock, getting the nutrients you need and the medicines you need and the rest you need. Whereas your old teeth did not require care, and you may have become accustomed to not caring about them, so you didn't have to do any maintenance on teeth. Well, you have these new beautiful teeth that you spent all this money on. Well, I did. And now you have to actually care for teeth. You have to care for your gums. It requires different products and it's a lot. So that's why I wanted to take this slow and make sure that I stress the importance of this particular situation. But it was very hard once I realized that I don't have teeth anymore. And you may be thinking, well, you got the bad teeth out. It's good for your health. You have a beautiful smile. Why worry about all those things are true? But it does not take away from the fact that you still have to go through that part. You still have to go through that part of actually not having the teeth and coming to grips with that. It's a part of the process. So I think that's it. Like I said, if there's any questions or comments, you guys can leave them in the comments. I am kind of sleepy doing this video. What else can I think of? I think that's it. To the denture community and the denture family, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll keep on shouting you guys out again and again and again, because it does make a difference, because there's nobody around me with dentures. Shout out to Sweet Lady B, because if I needed her, guys, go check her out. If you're on my page and you're not on her page, go check her out. Go subscribe to her page, like her. If I needed her, probably if I called the phone right now, she probably would, and related to dentures, or if I'm feeling some type of way, she has really been there. So shout out to her. Shout out to Miss Vicky. She shouted me out on her video the other day. Congratulations on the wedding, Miss Vicky. And I cannot wait to see you in the wedding. And guys, I think that's about it. I'm going to close the doors of the quiche. I want to get some sleep. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm happy. I wouldn't trade this smile and I wouldn't trade this feeling for anything. I wouldn't go back to those bad teeth for anything. But I'm gonna come back to you guys at another time. I'm gonna close the doors of the quiche. And this next video that's coming up, all you original OGs, I have a lot of questions. I do. I'm just holding off because I wanted to gear this video toward people who E-Day is coming up. But I got some questions for y'all to see what everybody think. But other than that, you guys have an absolutely fabulous week. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Love on those around you. Love your family members. Love your friends. Love those close to you. And most importantly, love yourself. Peace out, y'all.